They're gifted, they're smart, they're hungry, they have all kinds of potential, and oh man, are they looking like they could be the big problem in Atlanta. Good morning to you. Good Thursday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Steelers versus Falcons is a 1:02 p.m. kickoff at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'll be flying down day after tomorrow to cover it. So much to look forward to in this setting, but all of which could be stopped before it gets going by the offensive line. And you didn't need that preseason game a couple of weeks ago against the Bills to illustrate that. If anything, actually, since then, the questions, the concerns have become that much more pronounced. Let's remember that in Detroit, it was Isaac Seumalo who threw that beautiful second-level block to spring Cordero Patterson on that long touchdown run. Well, he's not playing in Atlanta. Spencer Anderson is. It'll be Anderson's first NFL start. It'll be Zach Frazier's first NFL game. And we'll see what happens with the tackles, but it'll either be Troy Fautano's first NFL game or Broderick Jones' first NFL season opener. You get the picture. It's James Daniels and a whole bunch of kids. And when you throw into that Atlanta's got a pretty nice defensive front and that there are individual potential mismatches all across that line, then you're going to need two things to happen for this scenario to work out. One, the individuals will have to rise above whatever anyone could be reasonably expecting. And two, those individuals have to display an uncommon level of chemistry, cohesion, communication, all that stuff that we even hear veteran lines complaining about when it goes missing. This wouldn't have been missing. This just would have never been in place. And believe me, they get it. They get what everyone else will be seeing when they look ahead to this area. This was Jones yesterday after practice on the south side.
I feel like we'll be all right. With Isaac being hurt, that means, more people have to step up, more younger guys. So, they're really looking at us and leaning on us to just being able to step up and, take the charge and go out there and, do what we've been doing for so long.
Yeah, when you have to begin your assessment of your positional group with, we're going to be all right, you have a pretty sharp sense for what's being talked about all around you. But look, if there is a lesson to be learned, I guess a negative one from the preseason game against Buffalo, a positive one from the preseason game against Detroit, it's that the line either lets you get going or it stops you in your tracks. None of this other stuff that we're fussing over will matter at all. I'm sorry, it just won't. And it wouldn't have mattered if Brandon Ayuk came and he brought a primetime Jerry Rice, because if you're getting regularly disrupted up front, your quarterback's not going to have a chance. Your running backs aren't going to have a chance. And, once that happens, that's pretty much game over. Never mind the effect of lots of 3-and-outs leading to your defense being on the field way too long. Look, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to rain all over the opener before it even happens. I think there are a lot of good things that can happen for the Steelers in this game. I'll be going over one of those tomorrow. But this, my friends, has to go well, at least reasonably well. And if I could make one wholly unsolicited and I'm sure unwanted suggestion to Arthur Smith and crew, it'd be this. However much you think that we think you're going to run the ball, run it even more. If there's one cure out there, it's not a cure-all, but it can certainly help for a youthful O-line. It's to run the ball a lot. Tell them, plain and simple, see that dude in front of you? Bang him. Seal him. Don't hold him, but don't let him go. There are all kinds of pluses to be had there, not least of which is that these guys have that persona. To the best of my ability to get to know these kids, and remember, they haven't been around for very long, even Jones, they want to be physical. They want to push. They don't want to drop back, at least not as a top priority. They'd all, to a man, much rather be knocking holes for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. And that's what I'd do. That's what I'd go at the Falcons with. Certainly in the first half. It might not be explosive. It almost certainly won't result in any kind of splash, but you'll get their confidence up, meaning these kids, you'll begin to wear the Atlanta defense down. And maybe, just maybe, if your defense does its own job, you can attack their defense in the second half in a wholly different way and maybe, catch them off guard a little bit. Just a thought. When we come back, J1Q.
This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar.
Today's J1Q comes from Danny, who says, "Hey DK, is it time for Cam Hayward to pass the torch? I know he's a leader of the team, no question about that, but is it time to make Minkah Fitzpatrick captain instead? I know the players respect Minkah. I think we need to make some changes with team leadership." Danny, captaincies matter, leadership matters, intangibles matter. None of them matter anywhere near as much as what gets discussed. Not here, not anywhere. I happen to share your view of Minkah. He's a leader in every discernible way. Heck, he's a leader when he's hurt. He's all over every situation, whether it's classrooms, locker rooms, of course, out on the field, sidelines. But I'll also tell you that leaders in football, and hear me out on this because this isn't something that's commonly known, really aren't about the team captains. They're about positional groups. Ben Roethlisberger was a team captain. It really didn't affect anything. There wasn't a leadership dynamic in which, everyone would go to Ben. Whereas if you're in the running back room, and I'm talking about now, Najee Harris is your guy, unquestionably, and without any competition. On the D-line, Cam is that guy. In the outside linebackers room, TJ Watt is that guy. And actually, I was a little surprised you kind of skipped right past TJ to go to Minkah. In the inside linebackers room, as I've already witnessed, it's very much Elandon Roberts. We could keep doing this, but you get the point. Most of the settings in which the players interact are positional. Yeah, you'll get the whole secondary together, you'll get the whole front together, but most often it's the DBs or the front guys or the linebackers, and it's because they're assigned to specific positional coaches who do most of the truly detailed studying and prep with those players. So if you're thinking of a captaincy along the line of what's in the NHL, that's a lot more prominent. There's a real role for an NHL captain, both on and off the ice. And that's just really not the same in football. You go out there for the coin toss, you accept the mantle whenever things are really, really, really bad. You would do some of the speaking with the media in general about, say, the state of the defense overall or the state of the offense. But this idea that I think you're putting forth here, that it's time for new blood, it's time for a new voice or something like that, it just doesn't apply. I appreciate the question, though. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Steelers, and we're going to do another one of these tomorrow, and as promised, it's going to focus on reasons that I think the Steelers can beat the Falcons.